Hello, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to cover how can we implement an alert to show when I exceed a budget or a spend threshold. So before we actually begin to setting up these type of alerts, we first want to understand where does this data come from. Within Flexera One, we have the capability to create what we call cost plans. Cost plans is how we're going to set up our budgets and our forecast. This can be based off of specific dimensions. Like if you want to set this for a specific team, you want to set this for a specific cloud provider, maybe you want to set this for your cost center. The sky is the limit for how we create these cost plans. Once we do create them, we can go ahead that we're going to have our budget set. We're going to go ahead and have our forecast set. We can understand how we're doing against these different budgets and forecasts, but we want to make sure that we really set proactive alerts so we know when we are exceeding that budget or some sort of spend threshold. This is all going to be coming from our automation engine. Built into the automation engine, we're going to have a catalog where some of the policies in this catalog will be things around your budgets, where we can come in here and set the different thresholds. Like I want to go ahead and set this budget to work off of a cost plans we just were looking at. Who do I want to notify when this cost plan exceeds some sort of threshold? And then if I want to add any other filters to receiving this. Now we get to the point of, well, let me go ahead and set that threshold for whatever percent of my budget I have completed. In this case, you can see that when we exceed 90% of our budget, we're going to go ahead and get an alert or an email notification. Also, we can decide, are we going to set this based off of the actual spend or what we're forecasting to spend, deciding how proactive we want to be against our budget. Then we also get to decide, well, maybe I want to get these type of alerts not only when I exceed a threshold, but maybe I just want to get a daily or a weekly, hourly, monthly alert just to see how things are going. This is going to be the same type of example when we're talking about our forecast, staying ahead of where we plan to be, making sure that we are on schedule with what our forecast will be. So as I mentioned today, what we covered is one, how do we create these different budgets and forecasts so we can go ahead and be alerted when we exceed a budget or a spend threshold? And then what do we need to do? Set these policies. And then we might set these also several times depending how many different cost plans we create. Thank you.